My name is Bates Brown. I'm 83 years old, be 84 this year, and I've been a member of GNLD for about 11 years, and it's been a delight. Actually, Dana brought me into the company, and when I was very reluctant to have any interest in it because I was involved in another company that had some excellent products that I felt were really benefiting uh, my health at the time. I had had triple bypass surgery back in 1988, and it was a time when I had heard one of my fellow sufferers going through rehab with me telling me that he was doing his third surgery for bypass surgery, and I was told that it would have to be repeated in a matter of a few years because we now have veins up here instead of arteries that God had given us, and they can close up much more easily. And I became very conscious of the need of trying to keep those veins open, and I tried to do the rehab with the exercise and getting the diet as improved as possible for good health. And and Dana came to me, and I found that I had a good friend, by the way, who was a missionary, had had suddenly had a heart attack, and it was announced at the evening service at church, and I went to visit him, and he was doing fairly well. I went back to visit him on Tuesday night, the following, and he was slipping away. And I had found people who were coming to the hospital to hear a lecture, and it was on health for the heart. And I listened to that, and that's when I started on these health products. But and I had good success with them. But Dana kept after me, and she was very persistent in giving me good tapes from a doctor of clinical nutrition who had a marvelous knowledge of recovery from polio when he was given no chance to live, and it was a constant pressure, you might say, from these highly technical people that had developed products and knowledge that impressed me that these products were far superior to what I was taking, as good as mine were. And there was much more science devotion to the development of products. So I finally decided I was going to give up the other products and go to GNLD, and I am so glad. As it turned out, my life did take a huge turn for the better. It's now been 20 years since I've had bypass surgery, and I've not had to have it repeated, and I'm able to lead an active life, normal life. My mother was in good health all of her life for the most part until about she was 90 years old, and she ended up having a stroke that was many strokes and was going into pneumonia, and then it went into convulsions, and she was in the hospital when the convulsions happened and in ICU for a full month, and we didn't know but what she was brain dead and paralyzed. And as it turns out, I started giving her the GNLD products, and they absolutely brought her back. She was in a state of catatonic state where she could not communicate with her children or grandchildren and great-grandchildren who wanted to, at family occasions, talk with her, and she couldn't respond. And she was on so many medications, and we, through continued pressure on the doctors to listen to the tapes or read the literature, which the doctor didn't ever wanted to do, he finally said, just go ahead and give her what you feel she needs. And we did, and she lived to be 100 years old. And we celebrated her 100th anniversary out in the park, Audubon Park, where the Memphis Symphony honored her orchestra, because the symphony was formed in our home at its very beginning, and they sang happy birthday to her, and she was, of course, just delighted to have that opportunity. And as it turned out, my mother was in her last visit to our home, she sat down at the piano and played "The More We Get Together, the Happier We'll Be." And I think the happier you'll be if you learn about these GNLD products. Thank you.